For the softest sweet rolls, the ingredients you will need are 1 egg and 2 egg yolks. In a big bowl, put 500 grams of flour, 7 grams of dry yeast, half a teaspoon of salt, 40 grams of sugar, and then whisk the ingredients. Make a well using a spoon and pour in the eggs, then milk, of which you will need about 250 ml, add it gradually, and of course 100 grams of melted butter that is not too hot, otherwise you will end up with scrambled eggs. You will notice that the dough is dry, which is a sign to add a bit more milk. After you tie and your arms fall off, it is time to form a dough ball by folding in the edges. Of course, flour your surface and you get your dough ball out. Then, as I said, you just bring the edges inside and then you flip it over and you kind of roll it on the counter so it all sticks together. After you are done, you can test the dough by pressing in a finger. When it bounces back, you know that the gluten had developed. Leave the dough to proof for about 20 minutes at room temp or until it doubles in size. Flour the surface and get your baby on the counter. If you have oiled up your bowl, it will just glide out with no problem. You dab just a tablespoon of flour on top so your rolling pin doesn't stick. Now the goal is to end up with a thin rectangle that just so perfectly fits on the counter space. Cutting could be a bit tricky. If you make tiny squares like I have, you will have smaller rolls. Makes sense, right? And if you like them chunky, you can just make bigger squares. You can fill them with jam or chocolate spread. Mine was homemade plum jam. You will form the rolls by folding in the corners and sticking them together. I did notice that it is much easier not to touch the jam at all, as it will prevent it from leaking out and making the outside dirty. When you have successfully stuck the edges together, you can take it in your hand, and with your pinky finger you can kind of push the bottom side down, so again it all sticks together and the jam won't leak. With a bit of butter you cover the pan and arrange your rolls onto it. We will let them rise for about 20 to 30 minutes and bake them for 35 to 40 minutes on 200 degrees Celsius. After they are done, you take more butter, melt it and brush it on. Gorgeous! You let them cool for a bit in the pan and then you can take them out on a cooling rack. To be honest, they are the tastiest when warm, and if you like, you can also dust them with some powdered sugar. That's it! Super tasty and fluffy rolls that will stay fresh the next day. Thank you so much for watching today's video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!